What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Parrot Press. Big video today. We've got some massive changes in the gallery, and I'm going to talk you through each transaction, to why I've sold them or to why I've brought them in and to why I've made these moves. So I've actually probably sold around 70% of my gallery, and the reason being is because the prices are dropping dramatically. We know that the amount of auctions are going up, prices are falling down, and I wasn't panic selling, but I think that we might be at a time where Sorare's transitioning from, maybe rares are not rares as we know them anymore. Maybe the new rares are going to be the super rares. I'm not sure. However, in recent weeks, I have won the odd reward when I'm playing rare, when I'm playing all-star rare. And if you've been following the channel, if you're not following, hit the subscribe button. But if you've been following the channel, you'll see that I've been playing Challenger Europe rare and all-star rare. And I've managed to get a few rewards, like the low tier 2s or a mid tier 2. And I was just looking at it and I was thinking, well, where are the best rewards in terms of the competition? And I'm looking and I'm thinking Rare Pro. They give out a lot of stars, star rares, I think 20 in some competitions as well. And I was just thinking, well, I've got some really strong players in my gallery. If I added a couple of super rares in there, will I be competing? And I went through Sorare data and I've done the concept building and everything. And I come to the realization that I would be competing a lot more in Rare Pro if I picked up a couple of decent super rares. So with the prices of rare falling, super rares seem to be staying the same. I mean, I've not really got much experience with super rares, so maybe I am chatting a little bit of rubbish there. I want to be playing in the competitions that suits my gallery and where the best rewards are. So that's the reason. I'll probably come on to more reasons why I sold most of my gallery anyway, but I'm going to take you through literally every transaction to show you and be totally transparent as to what's going on. So the first player out the door was Nicholas Storm, and I think that he is actually a really good player, to be honest with you. Now these scores don't reflect that, but you can see here he's coming into his own a little bit more. He takes set pieces, and I think if I just go to all here, you'll be able to see these scores here, and I think that he could be coming back into that, but I needed the ETH, as I've said. So Storm was out the door. The next one was Sven Coombs. I picked him up for 0.13, so I've made a massive loss on this card. Now I do think that he's a good player, and Ghent, they're obviously a good team. Ghent are a good team, but I didn't really enjoy watching them. From a defensive standpoint, when I had that Nardi and Akumu combination, that was pretty good. But going forward, they don't really excite me. The guy's 34. I needed the ETH. Prices were dropping, as I've said. So to be honest with you, I just got out of that card. I then picked up this guy because I needed another midfielder. As I said again in previous videos, my midfielders were a little bit lacking. And looking ahead, going into the summer, I wanted somebody who was in the America leagues that I could play in All-Star, play in the America competitions. And this guy, for the price, seemed to be really good. He plays for Boca Juniors, which is obviously one of the best teams in Argentina. They play all through the summer, and if we look at some of these scores, I mean, he's got 300s in the last year. He's got some 90s in there as well. He takes some of their set pieces, and I think that he's a good player. You know, if you're signing somebody who plays quite advanced in one of the best teams in that league, as I said, taking set pieces, you're doing all right, to be honest with you. So he come into the gallery for what did I pay? 0.175. Now I think I can get him a little bit cheaper now, but he's actually stayed pretty consistent, which is good to see. Next guy, I've got a reward. I got this guy in. I think it was one of these ones where last week or the week before, everybody was swapping. Some guy contacted me on Discord and said that he managed to swap him out. So I was like, well, why not just jump on that bandwagon? Swapped him out, got another player in, and I'm looking at selling him for like 0.04 or something. So obviously not a lot. Next one out the door was Montero. He plays for San Jose Earthquakes. He's out the door for that price. I think about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks ago, he was going for about 0.19. So he's what it is, but he was out the door. He was part of a trade that I done back in a few weeks back for Nopper, or to get Nopper out, should I say. So he's gone. Then this was the big one for me. This is what really kickstart the whole transformation, because Andre Blake, if people don't follow the MLS, he's basically the best goalkeeper in the MLS. He's a really good scorer if I actually bring it up. He's a good scorer. He plays for the best defensive team in the league. He's got some amazing stacks with the likes of Jack Elliott and Kai Wagner. And you can see here some good scores. He's got that upside in him as well, but he's pretty consistent, right? But I was thinking, with prices coming down, with the shape that my gallery was in, does it make sense for me to have a goalkeeper who at the time, or still is now, worth 0.91 ETH? Because there were some other goalkeepers, and I actually bought one of these on auction, and I'll come to show you who that person is in other leagues that are in the second divisions and stuff, are all across Europe, who are outstanding performers. And at the time, they were a third of the price of Blake. And I was sitting there thinking, well, let's have a look around Argentina as well. Maybe there's another goalkeeper there. And again, there was goalkeepers that are very, very decent that I could be saving 0.3 or 0.4 ETH on, and then upgrade and whatever, and use that ETH for something else. So I made the decision that if I was going to do this, this was going to be the catalyst card to almost go absolutely sell all my expensive ones, do some real good scouting, and get some other players in, get some super rares in, and really strengthen my gallery. So Blake went, sold him for, what did I sell him for? 0.88. Okay, which I think is a good deal, but in the new world, who knows? The next person to go was this goalkeeper. And now he turned up for a couple of weeks for me, and I think he had 2 clean sheets, 2 out of 2, or maybe 2 out of 3 clean sheets for me. Really, really good goalkeeper, playing for one of the best teams in Belgium. If somebody's looking at picking up a Challenger Europe goalkeeper, definitely highly recommend this guy. If we look at some of his scores here, really, really capable, really, really good. So again, though, if looking at his price, I mean, it's plummeted now, obviously, but at his price, what did I sell him for here? 0.66. He might be like half an ETH in 2 weeks' time. Who knows where the market's going? But I was thinking, again, I could get another good goalkeeper. If he was going to be playing All-Star, I could get somebody for like 0.4 who does a similar job to what he does. And again, freeing up that ETH, then all of a sudden between Blake and him, I've saved, if I picked up a goalkeeper for 0.4s, I've already saved like 0.6. I can get a super rare in. All of a sudden, I'm into the competitions where I want to be in terms of Rare Pro. So Morris walked out the door. Now, I stacked him with Burgess, and he went straight away. Now, the annoying thing with this guy is that if I just show you the price graph here, it doesn't stay too well here. I mean, I bought him at 0.21 to pair him with Burgess, to pair him with Morris, and he did win me a couple of rewards, but not the price difference, I don't think. Ended up selling him for 0.12. Again, he's a really, really good defender. Look at those scores. If you are, again, after a stack in Challenger Europe, these guys are hard to beat. Morris and Burgess for that price. Really, really good stack. And he could have had multiple decisives in the last 3 or 4 games, definitely. After watching their games, because I've got Teddy Tuma as my midfielder, so I'm really invested into their side. He could have easily had 2 or 3 goals, to be honest with you, from free kicks or corners. But anyway, let's keep it moving. He is out. The next one out the door was Colert. Heravina on a little bit of a slump at the moment. I think ever since Nopper got injured during that warm-up game, and he's been out for the last few games, they've not been great. Now, I do think that they're going to get back to where they were, especially when Nopper comes back in. I don't know when that is. But this guy I won as a reward, a high tier 2 or maybe a tier 1, mid-tier 1 reward. Could have sold him again for like 0.28 a couple of weeks ago, but I don't know, if buts. I think everybody does it, right? We always look at it and say, oh, we've sold him now. What if we sold him 2 weeks ago? Probably this would be a good price in 2 weeks' time, but he is out the door as well. And this is where it starts to get interesting, because I was really scared of actually selling this guy. Maybe scared's the wrong word. Apprehensive is probably a better word for selling this guy, because if you look at his scores, he is an absolute animal. And he's been on fire this season. He's capable of hundreds. He gets in the box all the time. Plays for one of the best teams in the league. But I sold him because for point, I mean, what did I sell him for? 0.39, I think I sold him for. I bought him for 0.37, so it's nice to make up that 0.02 there. But for, again, that price, I could pick up a really capable super rare, a defender super rare, who is a little bit undervalued and underrated, etc. And again, I'm back into the competitions where I need to be, rather than trying to fight for an all-star, get a low tier 2 who's literally worth like 0.05. Now, you could get those cards in Rare Pro. I'm not saying you can't, but the likelihood, if you finish high enough in Rare Pro, you're going to get some decent rewards. So he was out the door. And you can tell by his price now, actually. I mean, what's his floor at the moment? It's 0.32. He's the 58th overall defender, and I think he was in like the top 10 as of 2 weeks ago. It's only the last 2 performances that have pulled him down there. Just madness. But we move, and the next one, this guy here, won him as a reward, just got him out the door. Capable in terms of AA, actually. He plays in the Croatian league, but if you look at his AA, he's actually pretty decent as well. Well, back here, 18-14. The last 2 games he's been atrocious, to be honest with you. But he's out the door, so see you later. Moving on, Jack Elliott. As I said, I sold Andre Blake, and the stack that I had with him was Jack Elliott. So sold Jack Elliott. Really, really good player. Again, if we take a look at his graphs, you can see here, really, really capable. Got that upside in as well. And I think that Kai Wagner is going to be staying now, who's the left back. So that back 4 and the goalkeeper is potentially the same as last year, and they had a record-breaking year. So he's a good player, but without Blake, there was just no point in keeping him. I could invest that again somewhere else. And then I picked up. So as you can tell, I accumulated a lot of ETH selling all of these guys, and then I picked up. I was looking at the auctions, right? The new market auctions. As we know, Sorare at the moment are pumping the auctions and flying players out. And I come across this guy, and he was like 0.4 or something. So I had a check, and he was going for like 0.8. And I thought, I'm interested in this. I ended up picking him up for 0.6 for Pau Lopez. Now, I'm pretty sure. Let's just take a little deep dive into this player. I'm pretty sure. I mean, look at them results. Like, look at them scores, rather. He's so solid. But I'm pretty sure he was going for big money a while back. Yeah, look at this. A month ago, he was going for an ETH. I mean, madness. So I picked him up for 0.6, and it was one of the first cards that I've actually looked at, and I thought I could flip this. Make about 0.15, something like that on it, get more ETH into the gallery. Now I listed him up for 0.68, so only 0.08 over. I thought somebody might buy it. Yep, get out as soon as we can, and a little bit more ETH into the gallery, into the account. Nobody was biting on him. So I thought, well, why not use it? This wasn't a goalkeeper that I scouted, by the way. I think we're coming on to this is him. Just jumping back to Pau Lopez. And yeah, I thought somebody would bite on him, and he wasn't the goalkeeper that I scouted. It was just literally an opportunity there, and I thought, well, why not try it? Why not take it? I had some ETH in there. If I'd lose like 0.1, so be it. But what I ended up doing was using him in a trade for a super rare, which I'll come back to in a moment. But I picked up this guy, and this is the guy that I was talking about in terms of price compared to the Blake and Morris. If you look at them scores, and I didn't tell you who this guy was, I just said that, you know, he's a starting goalkeeper. Can I get to his L15? It's better for his L40. He's a starting goalkeeper, and that's his scores. I guarantee you're going to be in normal terms of price, like the market. You're going to turn around to me and say that's like about 1.5 ETH, something like that. Maybe 1 ETH, right? This guy was going for, when I first come across him, for 0.38. 0.38. And now I was looking for an all-star goalkeeper as well. So I know that the second division in Europe don't appeal to everybody, right? But he was going for 0.38 for a goalkeeper this good, this consistent. Now in the game overall, okay, so he's the ninth goalkeeper. I don't know whether that's L15. I think it's L15, maybe. I don't know. But he's very, very high up. And if we look at his similar players, we take away the age and we just look at that. We've got, who have we got? Lafont in there. We've got Kepa. We've got some really, really good goalkeepers in there. And there's probably some in there that are underpriced as well. Look, Unistol. I mean, he's my other goalkeeper, as everybody knows, and he's outscoring Unistol, who's one of the best goalkeepers in the game. I think there's and then I started going down a rabbit hole around the second division in Spain, in Germany, in France, in Italy, and there are some absolute banging players out there. And I think that sometimes, going back to that Munoz card, the Genk player, where I was really apprehensive about selling him, it's because he's a name. You can find players out there if you're willing to put in the time and the scouting to try and find them, basically. And it depends what competition you're playing them in. Now, again, I bought this player to play All-Star Rare Pro or All-Star Rare for me, and just look at them scores. It's mad. So then I picked him up for, have I still got it open? Yeah, for 0.49. So I put a tweet out as well. If you're not following me, by the way, at the Parrot Press on Twitter, go and give me a follow. But if you want to see my tweets, but he was going for, I think the last sale price was like, let's just take a look. So I'm not trying shit here. Let's go to prices. Yeah. So look at that. The last price was 0.38, right? So I offered somebody 0.41. And they sent me back an offer for 4 ETH. So maybe that was them just saying to me there's just no chance, but it did make me laugh. So there was an auction coming up, and I stayed for that. Stayed up for that. Got the auction, got him in for, what price did I pay? 0.494. Now he's already cheaper, but he is what it is. I couldn't get him for anything. I probably overpaid for him, but it got me looking into Granada as a team. And if we take a look at this, we've got this guy here, Miguel Rubio. Now, I love stacking a goalkeeper and a defender, especially if they're high scoring together. And is he the next player that I went ahead and got? Yeah, he is. So let me just sort this out. So that's the goalkeeper that's in the door. Then I picked up him. Now let's look at him before I actually tell you about the deal, because I think I probably overpaid a little bit. But again, look at those scores. He scored 390s in his last 15 games. Let's just sort it by L15. Yeah, I think the one after that was a 90. But really, really capable of scoring higher, and you can pick up his rare for 0.135. So comparing him to Elliot, which I showed earlier, very, very similar scores, to be honest with you. Let's go back to 1 year. And that's the difference. Sell Elliot, get this guy in, all of a sudden you've saved 0.14, maybe, if you're looking at the rare. But I was interested in his super rare because I still wanted to go into rare pro divisions. And this is the deal that that I had to take. So comes back to Paul Lopez again, where I picked him up for 0.6. I was trying to sell him for like 0.68, as I said. But I whacked him in and put some ETH on top as well. So the best part of, at that time, he was priced at 0.7. He's already down at 0.65, right? So call it an ETH. An ETH for this super rare. Now, he's probably, if I had to look at his graph, look at his age, he's only 24. He could get promoted, which means his scores might go down because he's obviously playing against better competition. But he's got another 15 or 16 games left in this league. And if he can carry on with scoring the way he's doing here, he should be able to get me one or two, maybe three rewards, which would pay for that. And then who knows? Another club might pick him up. He might get better. Blah blah blah. He's 24 for a centre back who's scoring like that. And I just thought, especially from a rare point of view, I just think that he's underrated, and I'm probably going to pick up his rare as well, to be honest, just for that rotation in All Star. But he was the first super rare that I picked up, so things were really starting to move now, and I still had some ETH left in the balance, and I was scouting for super rares that were a good value, and this is the guy that I come across, which is Nabil Bentaleb. Now, I'm a Spurs fan. I remember him at Spurs playing centre mid for us, and he was always pretty decent. I think we sold him to, it was either Schalke or another German team, and then he ended up at Schalke, one of the two. But I was looking at, I just stumbled across him because from a score point of view, if you look at that, an L15 of 64. Now, he plays in Ligue 1 for basically the worst team in the league. However, if we look at his scores, again, very, very decent. If I have him in a lineup when he's hitting 89 and 90 as a super rare, you're laughing in terms of scores if you've got the strength and depth around him. Now, he takes all of their set pieces. So let's just go and take a look at his club. Angers. He takes free kicks, he takes their corners, and there's not a penalty on here, but I'm pretty sure. Well, I'm not sure, but he would probably be in amongst the people to take the penalties as well. So what did I pay for him? Ended up paying for him 0.46. I ended up paying for him. Now his last sale price was more than that. He's at the floor price now is 0.63, and for a player who's the best player on their team and takes all their set pieces, potential to be relegated, which I kind of want. Sorry for people who support that club, but if he then goes into the second division, I'm not playing Champion Rare Pro or whatever, Champion Rare Pro. So I would have to use him in All Star. If he goes down and plays in the second division, he could absolutely dominate. Absolutely dominate. Now, if he gets a transfer somewhere else, he's probably going to get set pieces taken off of him. However, for 0.46 for literally half a season left, I just thought it was a good buy. It was a good pickup. And they've not got some bad fixtures coming up as well, to be honest with you. I think just gone they played... Yeah, that's a relegation battle one. He seems to do well against some of the big clubs. I mean, Nice there, Toulouse and Lens. So, yeah, Bentaleb is in the side. Then I was thinking I should really start picking up some rares for America coming up. And I thought, no, go back to the principle. I started this because rare prices were plummeting. So, yes, it was a good buy opportunity. However, I want to be playing where there's the best rewards, in my opinion. So I needed another couple of super rares so that instead of just playing All-Star Rare and Challenger Rare, I was actually playing All-Star Rare Pro and Challenger Rare Pro. And I made this deal this morning. Now, this guy right here, he's obviously a big, big player. Now, if you go to on sale, he's basically selling everybody. Like so much. I don't know whether he's trying to get out or whether he's a trader or whatever. But yeah, he's selling everybody. So I picked up two players that I know. Now there was only one other super rare that I was interested in, and I won't share that. There was one more that I might pick up, right, to give me some cover. But I picked up Botch. Now, I've got his rare card, so I've got that nice kind of rainbow at least starting. If we take a look at his scores, coming back to Heerenveen, I do think they'll be a lot better when Nopper comes back. He's got two amazing fixtures for the next two. Got a harder couple of fixtures there, but from an AA point of view, you can definitely pick up some points. And then, got some, go ahead, in there, Emin, Volendam. Definitely got some good fixtures coming up. So there he is, the super rare. In. Now, he was on the market for 0.75, right? So if we take a look at this, because I think this is where I've made up some value if prices stay the same. So 21 days ago, he was going for 0.8. 0.6 before that, but 4 months ago he was going for just over an ETH. So you probably would look at this on an average and say, yes, he's worth, including them scores, at a decent club. He's 27 years of age. You'd probably say what, maybe 0.7, 0.8, something like that. Now, the other, going back here, is another guy that I'm hugely familiar with, which is Vito Van Cruz. I think that's how you say his name. Now, again, I've got his rare. And if we take a look at him, he takes, for Sparta, he takes their penalties, free kicks, corners. He's just their man. He's their best player now that Minans has gone to AZ. And you look at this, an 84, 87, 100, a 99, 86. If he scores, it gets a decisive, which he can get goals and assists. He's got a very, very good AA for a forward as well. I mean, a 26 AA game there, a 24 off the back of that, a 14. Scrolling down here, a 10, 11, 13, 32 AA for a forward. And I was thinking, well, to get a good forward in a rare pro side, like a good rare card, rather than making a punt of somebody who's like consistently scoring, it's going to cost me a lot. So why not take a chance on the guy that I already know? I enjoy watching him play. He's very good, got a good stature on him, strong, he gets involved with everything, and he's well capable of scoring in a side that's having a good breakout year. And both of these players were available on this guy's gallery that he was selling them. Now he was trying to sell him. So let's just talk about price real quick. So he went for 0.63 3 months ago. Before that, 0.7. You probably would look at him for his age and for what he's scoring, maybe around 0.7, 0.8. I mean, somebody's trying to sell him there for over an ETH as well. So I made a deal with that guy for 1.05 ETH, and I got both. So basically half an ETH each. Which I'm really happy about. No, I probably don't seem too happy, but that's just my face. But I'm really happy with that deal because I've got two players that I know that are great, really capable of high scoring, and they're in the gallery as well. So yeah, that's what the gallery is looking like. So if I just filter this by rare and super rare, because I don't play limited at the moment, I've got two good goalkeepers. If we look at their L15s and their L5s there, two really good goalkeepers and good stacks to go with them. I've still got the 20 Guy Small in there. I've got my two super rares. I've got Botch as the rare as well. Two players there that Real is cover for Kai Wagner, the guy I spoke about earlier. And I've got Zimmerman in there as well, coming up to the America season. My midfield is looking a bit stronger now, especially that Zelarayan is coming back in the week after next. Really, really capable player, and he's plummeted in price, guys. So if you're after one of the best MLS midfielders, I'm not selling him, by the way, so I'm not trying to pump him up. But you look at them scores there. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 scores in the last year, 90 and above. He takes most of their set pieces. They've got a new coach this year, and he was about 0.7, 0.8. He's now basically halved. Really, really good player at a decent age as well. So he's going to be out there for the next couple of years, I would have thought. So yeah, we've got him coming back. We've got Oscar Romero as well for the summer and for now because the Argentina have kicked off. And Ben Taleb there as my super rare. Teddy's still there. Taylor Booth, he's been really disappointing, Taylor Booth, at the moment. You can tell that he's got a lot of talent because I've seen some of their games. But yeah, from a scoring point of view, he's not. You know, for the first 3 or 4, he was scoring in the 90s, and he's just gone well off of that. And this guy here, I'm just selling him. So, and then from a forward point of view, I've still got Pantsil, really, really good player. And then I've got the rare Vito and the super rare Vito. Dennis Buanga, who I'm not too confident about keeping at the moment. He is a DP out there, so I know that he will play. But he could be one that I sell, and then Johnny Russell as well. So I'm pretty much broke now in terms of I've got no ETH in the bank, and I will be looking at selling maybe a couple of people to pick up a rare goalkeeper so that I can play All-Star Rare, and that goalkeeper will more than likely be an Argentina goalkeeper or a American goalkeeper. To play through the summer. So if you have got any suggestions, you know them, as I was talking about earlier with Fernandez, that real good value out there. Drop a comment down below, guys, if I'm missing somebody. I've got a small short list on it, but yeah, let me know if you've got one if you've just found an absolute diamond in there. But yeah, we'll be picking up another goalkeeper to play 3 teams in the next couple of months. So yeah, drop a comment down below if you think that the transactions have I moved in the right direction? Are these 4 super rares any good? Time will tell, but I definitely am excited now moving forward because if you do place in one of these Rare Pros competitions, then yeah, you're on to some good rewards rather than a 0.04 tier 2 that nobody actually wants. So yeah, hugely excited. Guys, I know it's been a long one, but I wanted to bring you right up to speed as to exactly where I am. I hope you're not panicking, as everybody is at the moment. But yeah, my kind of advice is to hold, even though I've just said around all of these transactions, but that was going to happen anyway for me. But yeah, we'll see where the prices are. We'll see if Sorare actually limit the amount of cards that they're putting on auction in the upcoming weeks. But we have got America coming back as well, and that was another reason, just to say, why I kind of wanted to come out of All-Star Rare a little bit, because when you've got the likes of Carlos Hill going back in there and Insigne and these sort of players, it's going to be even harder to finish up in the top 20, top 40, whatever it is in that competition. But if you like the video, please hit that like button. Give me a follow on Twitter if you don't already. If you want to follow some of my updates, because I put some of the pictures of some of my transactions and thoughts, etc., before I do these videos. And also, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And as always, guys, I will see you in the future.